Hello, 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 my friends. Kaitlyn here, and guess where I've been?
About me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. What a wonderful world.
Yes, I went to New York City. So one of my best friends, Alanna, moved to New York last July, and it's taken me almost a year, but I finally made it up to see her.
It's like I have to film our reunion. Yay!
We haven't seen each other since mid-October, which is maybe the longest it's been for us, so it was super exciting to get to hang out and catch up and see New York City together. Obviously she's seen New York now because she lives there, but you get what I'm saying. I got there on Thursday, and the first thing we did was go to Chelsea Market, which is where the YouTube space is. I had booked a room and some equipment for us so that we could film a video together, and you probably saw it, the best friend tag, on my channel a few weeks ago. We're in the YouTube elevator, we're going up to the space now.
I feel really legit.
Yeah.
Like, not me, I feel like you are.
After filming, we had some delicious tacos at Los Tacos No. 1, which is in Chelsea Market. And then we went up to the High Line, which is really exciting because I didn't know that it even existed. It was so cool to be up above the city and walking so close to all kinds of really futuristic looking buildings and architecture and all the interesting art pieces decorating it. It's definitely something I highly recommend doing if you're visiting New York City. On Friday morning, Alanna had to work, so I had a little bit of free time myself to explore the neighborhood in Brooklyn where she lives. I went to Prospect Park first, which I just love how you can be in the middle of the city and then suddenly you're in nature. I feel like New York really does a great job of integrating parks into the kind of steel and concrete jungle that is the city. I also stopped by the central location of the Brooklyn Library, which just has an epic outer facade. While the inside is pretty standard library looking, I did stumble upon this really cool display of books written and illustrated by local kids. I really loved how there was one about living the life of a YouTuber. I feel like being a YouTuber is now the kind of job kids want, whereas when I was a kid, it was to be an actor or something. After Alanna got off work that day, we went to the Museum of the Moving Image, which I think is probably the highlight of my time in New York. It was full of exhibits about movies and filmmaking, and yes, even online video making. It was so awesome to see an exhibit of video screens displaying all different kinds of online video content, from Let's Plays to beauty tubers, and seeing people I recognize. There was also a section on video games where they had a bunch of setups and you could try different kinds of games. I sat down and played a bit of Walden, which is, yes, based off of Henry David Thoreau's memoir. It was weird and also kind of calming. There were a huge amount of movie props, costumes, model sets, masks, and face molds. Maybe the saddest one for me though was a face mold of Robin Williams and the prosthetics made for him in Mrs. Doubtfire. It's so weird because like, there's his face, but also knowing that he's not around anymore and this is all we have left. Another highlight was the Jim Henson exhibit because just wow. Like, I knew the Muppets and I guess Sesame Street too, but I really hadn't connected that he was a part of so many different movies and brands.
It's one of my all-time favorite movies.
There were also plenty of wonderfully weird toys.
How is this a toy that children played with? It's like from the Twilight Zone or something. Look at these things. Look at her face. Well, more super weird, dull things. All right, so you can cuddle with Spock and Captain Kirk in bed. Something is wrong with Kirk. It looks like he's turned around.
His forehead looks a little furrowed, like he's concerned. What's wrong, Captain Kirk?
Star Trek Barbie. Star Trek Ken? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, look how giant Spock's ears are. I feel like that's a little bit of an over-exaggeration. This is from my friend Steven. All the Star Wars things.
And finally, we ended our visit by trying out all kinds of types of film and video making techniques, including doing ADR.
Say the line along with your character.
Our mom called us all the same. I want my mom.
Now watch the scene with your voice on the soundtrack.
I want my mom.
You will now record your second line.
I'm gonna sing it.
Okay.
The rain in Spain stays May.
liked your take on that.
And on Saturday, well, let me just let Kaitlyn from a few weeks ago tell you what we did. We went to this place called Alice's Teacup in the morning. They serve tea and sandwiches. We got a couple of those. We got this big tier of like sandwiches and scones and cookies, and oh, it was delicious. Then we wanted to see a show and we ended up seeing Avenue Q, which has puppets. It's hilarious and kind of inappropriate at times. So that's, it's so good. I loved all the music and the storyline. I even cried at one point. There was a particular song. There's a fine, fine line between love and a waste of time. And it just like, it hit me right in the feels with everything I've been dealing with relationship-wise. And I'm like, oh, this is puppets singing, but yet here I am. And then afterward, it was Cinco de Mayo, so Alanna and I wanted to have Mexican. Yes, of course. We went to this place called Tacoma in the bottom of the Empire State Building. Had some delicious, delicious tacos there. What was actually really funny is that when they were bringing all the food, Alanna was in the bathroom, and so it's just me sitting there. And so they put all the tacos and like rice and beans and corn and stuff in front of me. Like I had ordered all of this food. Like everything came out individually, so by the time the fourth guy came with like the rice and beans, he like had this weird smirk on his face, like, girl, are you gonna eat all this food? And on Sunday, I got to hang out with my friend Josh from the Josh Speaks because he lives in New York City too.
Hey guys, I'm here with Josh from the Josh Speaks. We normally hang out in California at VidCon, but we got to hang out, get some good vegan food because Josh is a vegan.
Took her to Champ's Diner, so if you guys are ever in New York, go to Champ's Diner.
I recommend, the non-vegan recommends. Okay, so fun thing is that Josh is putting out a book. It's available for pre-order now.
Yes.
It comes out on May 15th. It's Embracing the Awkward.
It's a guide for teens to succeed at school, life, and relationships. Those are the three things I kind of focus on my channel, so I kind of condensed that into this book. You guys go order it. It's over on Amazon.
I bet you guys will like it, and I like Josh, so
there you go.
Good times.
How's it going, everyone? See you guys.
Finally, on Monday, it was time for me to go home. No! But we made a quick trip to the Strand bookstore, which is touted as having 18 miles of books, and oh, it was amazing. And then we stopped by the Forbidden Planet, which is just right down the street, and is like the coolest and ultimate geek shop. I even found a Sailor Saturn pop. She's my favorite but somewhat obscure Sailor Scout, so that was immensely cool to see her on the shelf. And bring her home, of course. Finally, it was time for me to go back home. But I had an amazing time in New York, and it was so great getting to spend a bunch of time catching up with Alanna. For the question today, what's your recommendation for a New York City trip? Where is a must go? Maybe it is somewhere that you've been and you think that the next time I visit Alanna, I should definitely go there. Or it might be someplace that you've really wanted to go when you visit New York. So just whatever you're thinking, tell me down in the comments. Plus remember that you can check me out on these other social media sites. Instagram is my favorite. You can see more pictures from my New York trip there. And don't forget to subscribe if this video made you smile. Plus hit that notification bell so that you know the moment there's a new video. And I will see you guys next Thursday. Bye.